The Luck Stops Here podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. It's also the fastest growing fantasy app in the industry. Everybody, I recommend doing the pick'em game where you pick whether your players will have a favorite higher or lower stat total. In this week's game, we'll be giving out a couple lineups for that over the weekend. Later in the show, you can win up to 100 times your money in a single night. You can pick between 2 and 5 players to build a single pick'em entry. You can also make a rivals pick, which pits 2 players against each other in a head-to-head, like which player will have more yards, which player will have more catches, etc. I love using it because, well, you have Best Ball Mania and whatnot. They have a playoff drafts right now, so you can get going in some playoff lineups for the NFL. That's going to be a lot of fun. Sign up today with promo code LSH and get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as an instant pick'em special. Visit UnderdogFantasy.com or find them in the App Store. And don't forget to register with my promo code LSH to get your first deposit doubled up to $100, as well as an instant pick'em special. Must be 18 or over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Oh, there's the music. We are in cocktail mode and hour. I am your host, Scott Bowser. I'm joined this week with my guest, St. Pickles, a.k.a. my brother, Bret. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun, dude. This is going to be a lot of fun. I did the stream a couple weeks ago. I took last week off because of the holiday, but I'm going to be trying to do these Friday nights going forward. Some of them might be on Saturday nights, depending on guest availability and whatnot. Some of them might even be Thursday night. You never know with what we're going to be doing over here. But I do have a big announcement here at the start of the show. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I am launching Luck Stops Here podcast.com. That's right. Yep. We are launching our own website that will have our YouTube channel here embedded straight onto the player. We will also, that's going to be the homepage. We're also going to have, here's the thing, Bret. When I originally envisioned the show, my original idea for it was going to be me basically doing a lot of Vegas local stuff, like reviewing bars, casinos, sports books, giving tips, hacks, all the things that locals pick up for how to, get your money's worth in the city. And then, COVID hit. And I wasn't really, so when I started the show was during the middle of the pandemic, and I was never able to really, and then I kind of just, it turned into the show that it's become, which I don't hate. I like it. It's fun. It organically became this. But I think the website's going to be a good place for a lot of these like reviews, that kind of content, stuff like that. You're going to be writing some fantasy football weekly recaps on there, kind of a general, like who did well, who are guys to target each week kind of thing. That's going to be cool. But yeah, I figure keep the show as is, and also have all the links to like all the guests I've had on albums and comedy specials and books, so people can find this stuff very easy. Of course, I get a kickback from those links because I set up the affiliate, but still, it's a good way to help people to support the show. And so, yeah, I'm going to be trying to launch that hopefully right around the new year, maybe a little bit before, maybe around Christmas. So be on the lookout for Luck Stops Here podcast.com. And we'll have links to other stuff like, I don't know, pornography. Just random.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it.
You want clicks on the internet?
Yeah, no. Image search. So I'm just gonna tag all the images in the website because I'm gonna be really into doing the meta tagging and stuff. Real nerd shit. But what if I just tag like a picture of you and me as 2 MILFs talking or something, and then people looking at MILF porn and they accidentally get us?
You'll be shocked this celebrity died, and have a picture of Denzel, and it goes to your website.
Yeah, those are the best clickbaits. You won't believe who just died. And it's literally like fucking like it'll be a picture like Chris Pratt.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, what happened?
Hey, what? And then like, dude, at least do funny one. Like, dude, because I did this a while back on Facebook where it was like 5-6 years after he had died, but I was like, oh man, R.I.P. James Garner. And like people really believe that he just died that day. Like and only like 2 people were like, dude, he fucking died like years ago. I'm like, I know, but like I wasn't on this site then, you know.
You can still be resting, man.
Yeah,
Like,
man. I'm still saying rest. Like what?
never
You
stop
want
resting.
You want him to rot in hell, you fucking bastard? Like,
Oh, so you should stop resting and get up and get a job?
oh, dude, no, but no, that's funny, man. Speaking of people, no, I probably shouldn't talk about that. No, kind of funny that CEO from the United Healthcare got shot. You see that?
That was wild.
That's pretty insane. But it's like, I think it's even funnier, like the reaction to it of people being like, anybody who tells the cops about this guy's a fucking narc. Shut the fuck up. This is a hero. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, like that. You know what? Hold on, I got the sound effect just for this occasion right now. Bam, dude. But I think this guy full on murked him. He was just like,
Yeah, from my understanding, that's what it was more like.
well, that's why I got the multiple sound drops. You know, that's that's how you make the good stuff happen. I see we do have someone watching, so we are improving our numbers. Head over heels. Feel free to hit us up in the chat, in the comments. We like talking the smack, talking the guff around here. But yeah. So RIP to that guy because United Healthcare did not. He was out of network when he went to the hospital with the gunshot. Okay, I saw that joke all over the internet. That was an easy one. That was a low-hanging fruit.
Claim denied, pre-existing condition.
Bullet holes aren't a pre-existing condition. Ben Pirtle in the chat. What up, Ben? How you doing, buddy? Okay, so yeah, but with the luckstopsherepodcast.com too, another thing I'm gonna have is just like our sponsor link. Like, dude, it's gonna be an easy place to make it like a one-stop infrastructure shop, but it's also gonna help the search engine results, so we get more people checking out the show. And that's look, I'm not trying to get Joe Rogan numbers over here, you know. But I do think that we are funny enough and provide some sort of relative information that people should. There's an audience for this. People, there's people that should want to check this out, is what I'm saying. So I don't know. I'm not blowing smoke up my fucking dick hole. You know what I did last week, Brett?
What did you do last week?
I went to my first rivalry game in college football outside of Southern California. I went to the UNLV Nevada game.
Oh yeah, Allegiant Stadium, right?
Yeah, dude. First off, Allegiant was sick, dude. Okay, I gotta say, I'm not a Dome fan. I am normally against domes, but dude, Allegiant was a pretty sick fucking stadium. And if you go to it was on Terrence's Instagram, but he took a picture. They had like this big Liberace mural like on the concourse. And we did a lap around at halftime. We did a lap around the stadium. We wanted to see what the whole way around. There's like a big Liberace mural on the wall.
Hey, you can't beat that.
We were like, oh, we got to get he's like, yeah, you got to get a picture of you in front of that thing. No, but it's really cool. Like, because Terrence Newman, fucking friend of the show, he's now a sideline reporter for their radio broadcast for the Nevada Wolfpack.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
The game had to be like 20% the price of like a Raider game, right?
Oh, we got our tickets for free. Because
but even still, like, we went to SoFi last year for the LA Bowl, and it was like $50. Like, you can't even get in there for any game for less than $250.
Okay. I almost got season tickets last season, actually, because it was like $135 for a pair in the lower bowl in the end zone. Just like right behind the fucking goalposts. Dude, it was like 135 for the fucking. So I was like, oh my God, dude, like Ben saying Liberace on point for the Raiders for sure. That is true. Those guys, no, the Raider fans, they try and be menacing, but deep down, they're just a bunch of theater dorks dressing up. Like, let's be honest here. But no, dude, like, So, but our seats, because of Terrence, dude, the Mountain West Conference. So we went to the one gate. They're like, you got to go to this other gate. Like, dude, we've never even seen these kind of tickets before. Like, so it was pretty hardcore flex with that, dude. But then when we went in there, we were basically sitting in the Nevada like alumni association, like faculty association section, and they're all
section.
Yeah, like dude, and there were a bunch of prudes, but we were like in the 7th row, like right, like around the 10-15 yard line, dude. It was pretty sick, dude.
Well, you do have one thing in common with them. You enjoy the smell of your own farts, so you should have got right along.
Nah, I mean, and we went to the Tailgater Tavern, a couple blocks right there. There's cheap parking right there. So if you're going to Allegiant, that's a good place to go check it out. To like pregame and like that. They have a happy hour 2 hours before every game at Allegiant. So you can always go over there and get cheap food and stuff. So it was packed, but I definitely recommend anybody going to a game in Allegiant coming up, check out the Tailgater Tavern right before. It's just like it's like a 5-minute walk, so it works out pretty good right there. But yeah, dude, I mean, UNLV kicked the shit out of them. They are about to lose to Boise in the Mountain West Championship game right now. But that was a fucking, I gotta say, it was a good time. I had a lot of fun. I got pretty drunk. Yeah, we went in reeking like weed. But it's funny when you're doing that with a member of the media technically for it. But we had a very fantastic time. And but yeah, it's weird because like I was thinking about it. The only I obviously been to a shitload of UCLA and USC games versus, but the only other, do you remember when we went to the other Southern California rivalry game? When we went to Cal State Fullerton, Cal State Long Beach?
I don't remember that, man. I was like,
you were young. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Dude, that like we went as a family to that way back in the 80s, and like both teams got rid of the football programs not too long after that. They should bring their football programs back because it was funny because Fullerton built a sick ass stadium for their football team, and then they got rid of it like the next season.
They were flag planting before that was a thing.
Yeah, no, like, but dude, like I remember at one point the dude sitting behind me poured a beer on the dude sitting in front of me, and the guy got up and punched him, dude. And it was about that. Mom and dad were like, all right, we're getting out of here, dude. This is getting a little too rowdy. But yeah, Fullerton and Long Beach was an insane. I mean, it still is in baseball and basketball, but dude, there was a fucking amazing football rivalry. And like, I love FCS football. There's FCS playoffs this weekend. I'll be watching some of those games. Like, FCS level football is great. Like, and what's cool about it, I guess now North Dakota State is going to the Mountain West Conference and FBS level, but like the Dakota schools, like Montana, like the states that you don't think about at all, like dominate FCS football, which makes it pretty cool to me.
Yeah. You don't want to play a Dakota non-conference if you're FBS.
No, dude, not at all, dude. Those Dakotas
on the road, dude.
Dakota or one of the Montanas, Montana or Montana State. All, dude, like those 6 schools are all pretty fucking good, dude. And in basketball too, even, dude. And like, dude, okay, once again, I said I don't like domes, but like North Dakota State plays at the Fargo Dome, and that is the most hardcore sounding name ever, dude. Like that, dude. We play at the Fargo Dome. Wrong sound effect. I wanted it to be something more menacing, but like I don't have any good like menacing sound effects on this particular board because I'm doing it's like we're about to do a segment coming up where I need certain sound effects, and so like I go like the Fargo Dome.
That's more like it. That's menacing.
But yeah, no, that dude, but like UC Davis in Northern California has a pretty good FCS football program. And then you got like Portland State, who's not bad. Sacramento State, dude. Sacramento State's pumping a shit. Like Tom Hanks donated a shitload of money because he went to Sacramento State, and they're trying to make the jump to the FBS level. So like some of these smaller Northern California schools have it together, but dude, like outside of like University of San Diego, there's not really a good Southern California FCS school. That's why like Long Beach and Fullerton both, dude, they both need to set up the programs to have that rivalry game. And like, dude, that could be amazing if they do that right, man. Like I would even say Irvine has the capability to get a program going too, dude.
Yeah. Why not, man? The more the merrier.
Yeah, dude, more football, dude. Like,
didn't they have like 52 straight days of football at one point this year?
Yeah,
because
because
FCS games in there, more teams. We could do 100 straight games.
Yeah, dude, let's just dude. And like, I'm not gonna lie, that COVID year where FCS played in the spring, that's not the dumbest idea. Now, I understand why that doesn't work long term because of like the transfer portal and these, like the NFL draft too. These guys should have the same shake as the other guys, like. But I really think like, dude, no, yeah, so we should start like a show, NIL to start programs like a one for like a Titan NIL and a fucking Long Beach State 49er NIL. And we try and get both programs back up and going, dude. Like that should be the goal.
I mean, I don't know why we can't get Snoop on board with just putting together the Long Beach team.
Like right there. And Kevin Costner is a huge fucking Fullerton guy. And
yeah,
he was the star of draft day, for crying out loud.
I mean, yeah. That's what the price of those picks were an hour ago.
Dude. Yeah. So I mean, and Fullerton already has the stadium, like straight up, dude. Like, I don't know. And dude, can you imagine if Long Beach had a sick little football stadium down there by the Queen Mary, dude? How cool that would be. Like,
It'd be awesome.
Dude, it would be fucking badass, dude. Like, I would fly out to games at Long Beach all the time, or even Fullerton, because there's Fullerton Airport right there too, dude.
Yeah, there'd be no domes there.
No domes.
Long Beach Airport would be perfect place to fly in, man. Like,
dude, actually, there would be a dome, I guess. Dude, can you imagine turning the old Spruce Goose thing into? Would that be good? Turn that into a dome stadium down there.
Spruce Goose is as big as like 3 football fields.
I said get in. Dude, but yeah, so yeah, like, dude, like they need to get that shit together, man. And like, I don't know. I also think, we got another fucking person checking it out. Make sure you join us in this chat. But all right, we have a very fun segment coming up right now, dude. We talked about this earlier when we had our little tech meeting to make sure everything was working with this new setup I'm using. And hey, by the way, big shout out to Sean Green, Ryan Kramer at the Sports Gambling Podcast, because they're allowing me to use the SGPN network stuff here. That's why it looks way better. It's like an actual real broadcast now, because they stepped in and are helping me out, and Ryan's helping me with the website. So big shout out to those guys for helping out. But also big shout out to Marissa Tomei, because she's celebrating her 60th birthday this week, and she looks phenomenal. Holy shit. She looks younger than me. I'm 45. She definitely looks younger than me. Okay. Now, me and Bret talked about this one earlier. There's a little video of her going around where she's like wearing a dress and like she kicks up her leg and you see some sexy leg and she just looks super hot. And it's like she's enjoying herself and her birthday. So one of these loser streamers, and I'm not trying to become one of these shows that just shits on other shows and other streamers, but dude, some guys give you such a fat fucking meatball down the middle of the plate. You just gotta fucking rear rack with that fucking big old lip of chaw in there and fucking crack at it. I mean, so this guy, his name's John Miller. Normally I wouldn't promote a turd like this, but John Miller at Miller Stream on YouTube. Okay. I mean, on x.com, excuse me. John Miller. And I kind of want to watch this guy's show now. So dude, someone took a screenshot he took a screenshot of the fucking Marissa Tomei here, and he just quote tweets it with, and here's, dude, this is his words. I can't believe a grown man. I can, I guess, dude. We live in a decaying society, but okay. First off, this is our turd of the week. Just want to get that out of the way. All the usual suspects are drooling over this fossil with literally 0 eggs in the crate. That to me is more disturbing than what they call quote unquote pedophilia, because it is a sign of dangerous biological mutation in men. What the ever loving shit is this fucking asshole? We need to flush this turd ASAP right down to the fucking ocean because, dude, like, did we get this right here, Bret? That he said that it's better to be a pedophile than to think Marissa Tomei is hot.
Well, I mean, to begin with, does he think like there's no such thing as a pedophile? Like a pedophile in quotation marks.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the boogeyman.
Yeah. Oh, these pedophiles, all the kids are talking about.
Like, yeah, like I don't know what I take more offense to of the quotation marks around it, or just
Well, and also like women can't be infertile at all kinds of age. Like there's so much wrong with what he's saying. I mean, the sexism outside of it. Okay, the obvious like over the top ageism and sexism that's just disgusting. That aside, this like like you said, this idea that like no, I don't think these pedophile. What do you call pedophilia? And then I guess like in the comments, people like immediately are calling him out for being a pedophile. Like,
yeah,
you know, because that's what a pedophile would say. But he was defending.
I could just guess this guy has no kids, and he's the first one to call people out for being past breeding age.
Yeah,
you were past breeding age when you were born, sir.
Yeah.
It ain't never gonna happen. You got to take a shot on goal to slip one past the goalie.
No, because like there's this like wave of like macho, like I mean he's like one of these like clear like alpha male macho bro like men's right activist type dudes, and these guys are so fucking douchey. And it's like, dude, having a little compassion and empathy and having respect for a woman is the manliest fucking thing you can do, to be honest with you. But like this guy fucking like. I think he's like one of these Andrew Tate type guy, you know, like he's one of these type fucking guys where it's like, I've seen these guys kind of say like, nah, man, dude, being with a woman at all is the gayest thing you can do because you have to do stuff that like a woman would like and like be nice to women. And so it's better to like fuck a guy in the ass. It's way less gay to do that. It's like, I mean, whatever you gotta tell yourself, I guess, bro. Like fuck, dude. Like, you know, you could just come out of the closet. Like that'll work too, man. Like,
you know, there is a spectrum, but it's more like a circle than a flat line, right?
Yeah.
Like, like, when you get so straight, you're like right on the border there.
I guess time is a flat circle, and so like, dude, it's quite incredible, dude. But like, basically, this guy's he's defending his take on pedophilia as basically what he's saying is that since guys like Leonardo DiCaprio who are 50 years old and never date women over the age of 25 constantly get called out as fucking weirdos, that pedophilia has been redefined or some bullshit. And it's like, yeah, nah, dude, like just shut the fuck up here, man. You sound like,
yeah.
It's like he's one of these guys. Like I used to see this a lot in comedy, dude. Where like I did stand up, or you see all these like stand ups that like know the age of consent law in every state, and that's the guy you got to watch out for. You know, you probably shouldn't be friends with that guy. You know, that guy, especially if he's offering you a road gig in somewhere like Arkansas, because you're gonna have to watch him fuck a 14-year-old or whatever the fucking bare minimum is there.
Yeah, man, that's wild shit, man. You just it didn't need to be said there.
Yeah.
The comparison makes no sense.
No. Like
the quotation marks makes no sense.
And just also like if you don't have an egg in you, fuck out of here, bitch. Like what about a woman who's currently not ovulating? Like my knowledge of the female reproductive cycle, there's not always one in the chamber, you know? Like so what the fuck is this guy thinking? Like, dear God, like, you know, like you get these guys, right? And now that you can like monetize on X.com by buying the blue check, I feel like a lot of these guys just post stupid shit like this because they know they're gonna, hey, they gotta wear it and get bombarded in the comments by 5,000, but they're gonna get a check for it, dude. And it's like if you could just swallow any self-respect at all, you can make a few $100 or whatever for your engagement farming. Like it's
Yeah, I mean, some people, man, they need the likes. They need the
Dude.
likes that are dislikes.
Oh man, I'm just gonna flush him again. You gotta double flush that one just to make
Yeah,
sure he fucking clears out of here.
there's still some residue on the
There's
bowl.
still like little floaters in there, dude. Fucking sprinkling around on the top. This doesn't work. Um, all right. Well, we'll move on to a lighter note here. Um, it's time for us to make. We're gonna call this segment here. Let me get some music for this segment. Oh, dude. Let me think of what would be a good song. Okay, this will be good. All right. Here we go. All right. So now this segment we're calling our toothless pick of the week. Bret and I are both going through dental surgery. We're both waiting new implants. And so I'm actually going to put my teeth back in for the toothless picks.
I'll just whistle through it.
Yeah, because it's actually kind of hard for me to talk. So, all right. The idea of the toothless pick segment here. Oh, God, dude. I didn't mean to restart that. Hold on. So the idea of the toothless pick segment is we are going to be giving out our picks that have absolutely no bite at all. They are toothless. You might call them pussy bets. You could call it being, I don't know. I don't want to. I should watch it. I don't know what the standards and practices here on YouTube is exactly. I don't want to push the fucking envelope too hard. But here I'm going to log into mybookie.ag where you can use promo code LSH. I'm pretty sure I've been in the talks with them. Make sure to that my link for them is still active. So we're just gonna try it. If it works, fuck yeah. If it doesn't, hang tight. I'll get you one that works. That's how this works. Just hit me up. That's how you can help the show out, man. These promo links and whatnot. This is how we pay the bills around here. Okay, so I'm logging into my MyBookie account, which is fucking great, by the way, dude. I don't know if you've gone on there recently, Bret, but it is fucking awesome because you can do crypto payouts now and stuff, and it processes instantaneously. Because a lot of times with these books, it can take a minute for like the transfer to hit your account because sometimes they're using an international wire transfer or whatever. It takes like 5 to 7 days. But with the crypto fucking withdrawals, you can do it like instantaneously. Bam, you got the money. It's pretty fucking sweet, dude. But anyway, where is? Gonna refresh this bad boy. All right, and I'm logging in. All right, so what should we do? Should we do a toothless pick for Saturday college tomorrow and then Sunday NFL?
I got your Sunday NFL toothless pick.
You want to do college first though for Saturday?
That makes sense. Saturday is before Sunday.
Okay. My toothless pick of the all right. My toothless pick for tomorrow for the Pearl Harbor Day college championship games. Oh, I'll do it now. My toothless pick is the Miami, Ohio Redhawks -2.5 to win the MAC championship.
I think you got some teeth in there. You got to hit that money line at -138.
Yeah, you're right. minus I got it at -138. But let's face it, Ohio's a great story. I felt bad last year when they were starting to build that program up really good with Frank Solich, and then he had health problems, had to step down right before the season, and that kind of derailed them last year. But that coach has really turned it around this year. Ohio's a great story, but they haven't won a fucking conference championship since 1968. The Miami fucking Ohio Redhawks, dude, that's where goddamn Ben Roethlisberger went, for crying out loud, dude. This is a program that has fucking produced and won championships consistently for the last 20 years. So I'm going with the place that knows how to get it done. Give me the Miami Redhawks at -138 for my toothless pick for tomorrow. What do you got?
So on Sunday, I have a toothless pick for you. It is going to be the Steelers at minus 330.
Yeah, that's
So the Browns are 0 and 20 in their last 20 games in Pittsburgh. All right? That is when George W. Bush was in office. Just to
Tim
put you
Couch
in
was the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns then.
Yes. And a lot of people are looking at like, well, hey, the Browns beat them just 2 weeks ago.
But
The
why did you
Steelers
skip?
will not play down to
You
them.
didn't have anything for Saturday though?
Oh, I thought we were doing one Saturday, one Sunday.
No, each. Yeah, I do a Saturday one, you do a Saturday one, and I do a
I
Sunday
got
one.
you then. I'll take SMU Mustangs.
Oh, I'm on the other side of that. See, that's the thing is I actually like mostly underdogs tomorrow. I actually took Clemson because that's basically a home game. That's in Charlotte for Clemson. And I did the Clemson Georgia parlay with and I even sprinkled Iowa State in there.
The real toothless pick here is going to be the Oregon Ducks.
I'm no Penn State, dude. I plus 3.5. I didn't take the money line. I just took the point.
When's Penn State won a big game?
I know. That's the one I'm going to lose tomorrow for sure. And
they've never won a big game.
But I feel like Oregon's kind of had an easy schedule. They haven't really played, like they've had the easier Big Ten schedule this year, I think.
Well, Happy Valley is full of those quote unquotables.
Yeah,
so I don't think we can be.
I don't know. I like the plus 3.5 hook there, but here's a toothless parlay for tomorrow. Is you take the Miami Redhawks at minus 138 and you parlay it to the Louisiana Lafayette Ragin' Cajuns at minus 220. Ragin' Cajuns is probably the best mascot in all of college football, if we're being quite honest here. Like I really don't see a better mascot existing. Like Louisiana, I mean, I don't know. That's a fun one.
It's surprisingly not racist.
I know, right? Dude, and you know what I just found out about their campus that I think you'd appreciate? They have like this huge 100-acre park in the middle of their campus that's a swamp. It's like a gator preserve. And there's just like gators walking around their campus.
I think they just couldn't get the gators out until they just claimed it.
Yeah, dude. It's fucking badass though, dude.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that's why they're raging Cajuns, dude. They got to rage past gators all day when they're just going. So they're like, hey, I'm just trying to go to get some calculus done over here or whatever,
Yeah, man. It's like one of those places where they just have a net under their house that's water, and they just start a gumbo all day and then pull up whatever comes in the net, and that's what's for dinner.
All right. Well, since you already gave your toothless play for Sunday, I'm going with one far more. I'm going with one flat out. It's just gutless. This is just gross. I'm doing the Eagles minus 900, dude, against the Carolina Panthers. Okay. And we're going to parlay that because even in the toothless parlay world, minus 900 is just embarrassingly fucking like you gotta parlay that with something to get
you gotta hit it with like 3 things just to get even money.
Yeah, but no, we're gonna get even, dude. We're gonna like keep it on just we're gonna go with we're gonna do that and then the Tampa Bucks at home against the Raiders at minus 320. So minus 900, minus 320, toothless parlay.
It's toothless for those of you who's keeping track.
And that is oh shit. That is the toothless parlay segment. And that's fun, dude. But let's go over some of the rest of the games for tomorrow because I just want to go down the slate real quick. We already talked about a couple of them. But yeah, I've already put my bets in. I am on Miami of Ohio tomorrow. I'm on Iowa State tomorrow. I just took the money line there. It's basically a pick 'em. It's gone down actually, but I got it at plus 110 when I got first put it in. It's now at minus 103. I'm seeing it.
This is one of those things here too, where if you just look at the odds of minus 103 versus plus 1 at minus 110, you're gonna push at the plus 1 at best. Just take the minus 103.
Yeah. Yeah, just give yourself a little less juice, especially if you're putting like a bigger bet on it. I mean, I am on the Georgia Bulldogs against the Texas Longhorns plus 119. We're going to talk about this game a little later when we do our underdog pick'em entry, because I see a fun way to handicap that game in this fucking contest shit. Yeah, I that's another one where, dude, they're plus 3, or it was like plus 2.5 or whatever. I just took the plus 125 money line. I think they beat Texas outright. Like, they whooped their ass when they went to Austin already this year. And this game's in Atlanta, which is basically going to be a home game for Georgia. So give me the Bulldogs in this one. I think they're playing better football too. And also, I think they had a huge wake-up call going 8 overtimes last week against Georgia Tech. But that's the one thing I'm kind of worried about there is maybe an emotional letdown after a fucking dramatic rivalry game like that. Like,
so for me, like the Bulldogs, the only games they've lost are games I've bet on them this year. And so I'm all over them tomorrow, and so I know that's the kiss of death.
No, you can't think like that. You can't think like this is the time you got it right. Because also, fuck, dude, when does Steve Sarkisian win these big games? And who has Texas really played this year? You know, they played Georgia. What happened? They fucking got their asses kicked out. Like, and I'll say this too. Since they played the first time, Georgia's offense is a lot different now because that freshman running back, Frazier or whatever, he's now a big part of that offense. And I think that's going to give them a little bit more juice and a little bit more of a balanced attack where they don't need to rely on Carson Beck throwing it all over. But I still think he can and will.
And he's not a freshman anymore at this point in the season.
At this point in the season, you're based. Yeah. I also am on the Raging Cajuns there, -6. I think that they should fucking smack Marshall down pretty good. That should be a boat race. I took Penn State plus 3.5. You're right. James Franklin does not coach in big games, but they usually keep it competitive. That's the thing. Like, they usually blow a lead. And that's why I'm thinking plus 3.5. I feel like I'm on the right side of a field goal. I think this is a field goal game, and I'm on the right side of it there.
So all season I've noticed is that the Ducks go out early, and then they kind of like take their foot off the gas and allow teams to come back in and backdoor a cover. You know, I would hope in this kind of game they just keep their foot on the gas, but 3.5 isn't a lot of points, and I just don't think the Ducks, like, I don't see any way they lose this game.
I've done a very good job of handicapping Oregon games this year, and so I've been on the right side of a lot of their games. So I don't know, but yeah, it's tough, dude. These are tough ones. I also think the travel factor of the game being in Indianapolis, that definitely favors Penn State too. So
it does.
It's going to be more of a Penn State crowd. But you know what's fucked up, dude, about the Big Ten championship game to me? I hate to go off on domes all day, but like I'm sounding like Colby. But like, it's so stupid how like the Big Ten, all the teams in the Big Ten play in outdoor stadiums, and for the most part in cold weather spots. Even like Washington and Oregon get relatively chilly late in the season. And then all of a sudden, like, they're like, all right, we're going to decide our championship in a fucking roller rink, dude. Like, what the fuck is that, dude? It's so stupid. Like,
that's one cool thing about the playoff this year is like there's gonna be a game in South Bend and possibly some snow in like the first round. You know,
I think they're setting it up. If you look at the last rankings, I think they're totally setting it up. You'll see it when they drop the final rankings on Sunday or Monday or whatever, dude. They're gonna make Alabama go to Notre Dame and play. No, like, that's 100% going to be a first round matchup, and that's going to be fucking awesome because I have such a problem with the old bowl system of all the games being in the South and like always favoring these like Southern or even West Coast teams that, like, you know, like, I mean, as a UCLA fan, that's cool and all, but it's like all these like Northern teams and like a lot of the Midwest teams that play in these like cold ass environments. And then they all their bowl games were like in Florida, fucking, you know, Texas, California, New Mexico, whatever. It's stupid.
I mean, if you watch Jameis Winston doing a face down snow angel on Thursday night, tell me you don't like like a snow game, man.
I mean, dude, because I always said, okay, for years, dude, as long as we've both been alive and watching college football together, we've been saying they need to have like a 32 team playoff really in college football. You know, like having like the legit playoff. And now that we finally get this 12-team playoff where we get these home fucking on-campus fucking playoff games for the first round at least, dude, it's fucking awesome. And like This is so much better for the sport. And like, think about it like this, because so many people, like some of the biggest clowns on the planet, remember how they would say, "Oh, the big playoff just ruins the regular season now." This is the best regular season I can remember in years, because so many teams have had a shot at it, like going into the final weeks here, Like,
yeah, it's like, oh, the regular season doesn't even matter. It's like, it kind of does. Like,
it matters big time.
ask Miami if playing Syracuse matters.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah, absolutely. And like, I mean, I obviously, dude, if SMU loses and gets knocked out, because I think SMU should be in no matter what at this point, right?
that's where the wrench gets thrown in. Is if Clemson wins, it's going to be hard to kick SMU out, and then you're kicking out Bama.
Yeah,
because Clemson would have to be in as a conference.
Because, dude, I'm sorry, dude. You go 8-0, you go undefeated in your conference in a Power 4 conference. You should be in the playoff. And their only loss all year was the BYU, who was the front runner in the Big 12 until they lost a couple late in the season. And
it's pretty dumb though that the thing they haven't changed is it's not like how many you lost, it's when you lost. Because don't tell me if Oklahoma beat Alabama this last week, and that's when Miami played Wake Forest, and they played Syracuse the week before, it wouldn't be Miami over Bama.
Well, also, and you have the ACC and the SEC only playing 8 conference games, where the Big 10 and the Big 12 both play 9 conference games. So there, they all pick up an extra tougher game on their schedule just off the bat.
And there's like 20 damn teams in the Big 10, so it's like you can't really say it's a great conference when sometimes you don't play anybody.
Yeah,
like
the thing with dude, and that's what's so funny about this too is like anybody with half a brain saw this coming with these huge conferences, that there was going to be these crazy weird ties of like a 4-way tie for the conference championships or whatever. Like,
look at Texas. It was like, oh wow, they only had one loss in the SEC. They must be really good. Who'd they play? They beat Bama? No, they didn't play Bama. No, they didn't play anybody. They only played Georgia and they lost.
No, and I mean, say what you want about Georgia. They at least did play Bama. They did play Ole Miss. They did play Tennessee. Like they did play basically the toughest SEC schedule.
Texas, yeah.
They played Florida, and they played Florida when like Florida was starting to get on the upswing, and Florida at the beginning of the year was completely different from Florida at the end of the season this year. I think Florida is a team to watch going into next year. But like, I mean, if anything, what we're seeing here is like, no, they already got to expand to 24 teams. I'm sorry. Like the FCS playoffs is 24 teams. They just need to make, and dude, a 2014 playoff, now all of a sudden the top 25 polls like make a lot of sense when you're trying to get it to the top 24, like.
Yeah, the top 16 makes so much more sense. Like, you don't, the bye week's kind of an unfair thing. I mean, I get it, you're good, but like, it's not fair to play one less game.
I'm okay with it because that's what they do in the FCS, the 2014 playoff, where the top 8 get the bye, and so I would just say, dude, like, yeah, and I think you kind of got to do it that way, because the only way the SEC is going to sign off on expanding the playoff at this point is if you give more expand the buys, because then they get at least like 3 SEC teams for the first round bye or whatever, or some shit like
I can also see like how fun would it be just to have a play-in game this weekend? Throw Bama against Miami. Neither of them were playing in the conference championship game.
Dude, that's a really good idea, dude.
It would end all the nonsense talk.
That's a really good idea, because like, yeah, man, like that all of a sudden that game's got juice, dude.
Yeah.
Like that game has fucking juice at that point, dude. Yeah, I really like that. Okay, so just gonna run through these last few. Yeah. I do like Clemson though against SMU. And I think part of that is like me just trying to bet the chaos situations. Of like I'm rooting just for Bama to get knocked. Like fuck Bama. Bama should not be in there with 3 loss. A 3-loss Bama team should not be in there over a 2-loss Miami team. I'm sorry. When 2 of those losses were to 6-6 Vanderbilt, which Vanderbilt was pretty good there for a minute before some injuries happened to them. But then then Bama got smoked by a shitty Oklahoma team late in the season. Dude, late in the season. I'm sorry, dude.
That's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you cannot be in the fucking playoffs when that happens.
That was in November.
I am fucking sorry, dude. That is ridiculous.
I was already brining my turkey. You can't be losing to Oklahoma.
24-3, dude. And this is not Oklahoma of your dad's Oklahoma. This is fucking dog shit post Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma, dude. They're
This isn't
6
like a Red River rivalry. Anything can happen. Red River rivalry.
No,
Yeah.
dude, it's so ridiculous, dude. It's so funny though. All right, let's then yeah. So that's all those games. Let's go over to the NFL. We're not going to do all the NFL games, but let's just go over our favorite ones. I'm with you on the Steelers big time. And dude, I've been making so much money on the Steelers this year, and it's not because I don't bet on them because I'm a Steelers fan. I'm betting on them because literally they're getting points when they shouldn't be. The lines are too low every time. We got a costume change here. Skull. Goal. So I'm guessing something tells me that you're on the Vikings this weekend. Is that what this is about?
I am on the Vikings this weekend. If you have
let me ask you: are you only on the Vikings this weekend because you have the hat and you realize I can bring on a prop on the show and that'll be fun? And Scott appreciates that stuff.
It's only half the reason.
Okay.
It definitely juiced the odds of 3 points in my favor there, but the real reason is if you've been watching Kirk Cousins. So the only way to me Atlanta covers this bet is if they bring in that big Penix energy in the second half. Because Cousins is washed, dude. He cannot throw. He doesn't have it.
I agree with you on this one. I'll definitely be playing this. I've been betting every NFL game every week like lately, and last week I went 12-4. God damn it, I'm on a fucking heater. But yeah, I like Minnesota too, dude. Like Brian Flores as their defensive coordinator, he should be getting a head coaching look this next season with the work he's done on their defense this year, because like he's one of those defensive coordinators. Like I can think of who else is it? Their fucking homeboy in the Chiefs. Who's the Chiefs defensive coordinator?
Spags.
Spagnuolo. Yeah. Those guys, they don't come from necessarily the same tree or whatever, but both of these guys know how to overload blitz you and put just one too many guys that you can't block and put pressure. With a guy like Kirk Cousins, who's fucking washed and coming off a major knee surgery from last year still, and dude, this could get ugly very quick, because I think that
you can't throw, you can't run on the Vikings.
That defense is gonna put it on him, man.
And they're gonna be up his ass all.
They're going to be loading up blitzes. You know what I like in this game is doing some sack props. Start finding random dudes on, like, because I think that Minnesota probably walks away in this game with like 4+ sacks. Okay, and so if you can start finding multiple guys, because a lot of times on the sack props they only make you need to get over a quarter sack. So you just need to get that half sack. And so, you get quarter sack to half sack, and then you get the full beanbag later on.
The thing here is, too, it's like they have 2 losses this year, the Vikings. They're the quietest 2-loss team. Dude,
no, I know. It's the 2-loss team that no one fears, dude.
And here's the thing is, they lost to the Lions, and it was a close game. They could have easily won that game. And then they had the hangover loss to the Rams, and that's where no one believed in them, because they lost to the Rams.
They lost the back-to-back.
But they beat the Packers. They beat the Niners when the Niners were healthy relatively,
Okay, but at this time of year, I really like to start identifying the teams that I think have just fucking given up, right?
Yeah.
I think Cleveland is looking in that boat. We already talked about that Steeler game. It is fishy on this Philadelphia Carolina line, dude. Carolina's been covering against good teams lately.
Covering like crazy,
dude.
And you're giving them 13 now.
13.5, dude. Yeah, that's way too much. I got to take the points on that one, dude. Like that is way too many points.
But you know what? The team that's been quietly covering every week when they're getting 10. To all of a sudden get 13.5, I feel like they're going to get blown out by 40, and we're going to be like, I don't know why we didn't see this coming.
I will say that's the thing is the Eagles have been running it up hard on shitty teams.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why the line is where it is for this one. But I really love Jacksonville plus 3.5 against Tennessee, dude. I think Tennessee's this is a classic. I don't care if they're on the road. Wrong team is favored here. I don't care if Trevor Lawrence got his fucking bell rung on that cheap shot last week and Mac Jones is in there. I will bet it. I lost so much on Will Levis earlier in the season. I will just, dude, anytime he's a favorite, Are you fucking kidding me? I think that's great teaser potential too, to tease that up to +9. If you really want to do a fucking awesome teaser, do Jacksonville at +9.5 and Carolina at +19.5. And then fucking tease the Steelers down to fucking -1.
Yeah.
There
Yeah,
you go.
I'd be teasing the
There you go.
Steelers and the Vikings
Okay, yeah, I like that too. Yeah.
with the Bucks. That would be my teaser.
Yeah, okay.
Because
Well,
I
no,
think the Raiders are a team that's
another
given
one.
up.
I like the Bucks too. Yes, I mentioned that earlier, but like the Raiders are another team that have given up that I'm on there. But here's my give up game of the week, dude, because the Dolphins are still fighting for something and the Jets have clearly given up. Aaron Rodgers, dude, wants to be at the glory hole more than he wants to fucking play football at this point, dude. Like the Jets are such trash. I can't believe this is not a double-digit line right now. Because the Dolphins are going to fucking run it up on him, especially at home. Like,
it's crazy too. Like he committed to some documentary to be coming out like this week or something, and he probably thought that he was going to be 10-2, and this is going to be some like, like big ode to how great I am, and it's just like a big shame fest.
It was. I really can't. Earlier in the season, I was thinking this actually in the summertime, but like how Tom Brady really ruined it for a lot of quarterbacks coming up for the next decade or so. Because him being so good in his 40s, people are going to be expecting that guy's on that guy's down. It's like, dude, he's the only fucking guy in history to do that. Like, we can't start thinking this is the exception, not the rule here. Like,
so it goes back a little before that with Peyton Manning, when he comes into a Broncos team and he's just washed, but they managed to win the Super Bowl with the defense.
Yeah,
and then Brady comes in to what you're saying, to a new team. And he actually still has some juice left in the tank.
Yeah, no,
he carries them to a Super Bowl. So now everybody's just on this tip of we're just a quarterback away.
Mm-hmm.
All we got to do is grab an Aaron Rodgers, grab us a Kirk Cousins.
And well, what the funny thing with Rodgers here is just like, dude, he fucking sucks. I mean, like he hasn't been the same guy in years, dude, especially even before the injury. And to expect a 40-year-old guy, dude, coming off a fucking Achilles injury, man. That's no joke, dude. Like that, you're not, dude. Brady was never coming off a major injury like that at that point in his career, I'm like,
okay, look. So from Frontier times to now, we've had crazy advances in life and life expectancy. People still die in winter because winter is harsh on the old body. I feel old, and you're older than me, so I know you feel it. When it gets cold, the body tightens up. And for old football players, this late in the season, dude, they're hurting so bad just to get up in the morning, even a quarterback.
Well, that's why I laugh when people talk about like, oh man, that team's got a lot of injuries. And I'm like, dude, it's fucking week 14. They all have a lot of injuries at this point.
Yeah.
No team is healthy right now, dude. This is like, dude, like, by the way, not to, no one cares about other people's fantasy, shit. But me and Kramer did a few entries in the big best ball tournament for FFPC, the one that pays $300,000. And I have one about to qualify for the championship rounds that looks very live. I'll send you the fucking link to it later. Because I think of these best ball tournament entries like that, you just have to avoid injuries. We don't have any major injuries on there. And only like 3 guys that basically aren't going to do anything. And everybody else is like a contributor on their teams. So it's like, there's a lot of potential. So fast forward in a couple months, guys, this show could be having a massive studio upgrade if I hit on this fucking thing.
Yeah, you know what? I'm switching my teaser to just fading old men in December. All right,
I love this.
It's gonna be Vikings. It's gonna be Bills, and it's gonna be Miami.
Let's do it. Yeah,
you're gonna get Miami +1.
Now you are breaking the rule there on the Bills of teasing across 0. There, you realize this? That is that's kind of a donkey move there.
It is, but you have to realize it's coming from a place of hating on old men.
Well, what if we tease the Giants at home up to +11 against the Saints with old man Derek Carr? That's in cold weather game too.
That is in cold weather, and Carr sucks, dude.
I mean,
And
the
he's
Giants
been all
suck.
cozy in that dome.
Yeah, the Giants do suck, but like, hey, the Giants are coming off the longer rest, having played on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So that's how I would do the fade the old man parlay, because you have like the LA game doesn't make as much sense because you have to cross 0 and it's a warmer. It's not as a cold weather game. I mean, I guess the Miami one's not a cold weather one either, but I don't know. Yeah, I would replace Buffalo with I would replace the team that actually plays in New York with the New York.
The New York team.
The team that actually play. That's so funny how Bills fans always do that. Like we're the team that actually plays in the state of New York. It's so funny, dude. Like,
yeah.
How the fuck do you not build? It's the state. How do you cannot build a stadium for the fucking? Have to go to Jersey to do this for them? I don't know. Like, I guess it makes sense.
It cracked me up though, like last week when because they always hire the fans to dig out the snow. When the game started, like the stands were just wrecked because those guys just went in there and fucked around for like 4 hours.
You can tell. Like, just go there. I'd just be in there hiding beers in the snow, dude. It's my personal fucking ice chest over here, dude. I'm just fucking knocking a few back, dude.
Oh, too good.
All right, dude. All right. So before we get out of here, we got to do an underdog pick'em entry. Dude.
Yeah, we do.
We got to do a couple because we're gonna do a college one for tomorrow.
I got some juicy pro picks.
All right, good, because I have the juicy college stuff. I mean, so make sure you go over to Underdog Fantasy, use promo code LSH, sign up, and take advantage of our deal, because this is really a fun way to get involved in like the quote unquote prop market. I don't know if I'm even allowed to say that, but you can really there's a lot of ways to find value on here, because it's a higher or lower game where, like, for example, here's a game I really like tomorrow morning. The Iowa State, Arizona State Big 12 championship game starts 9 a.m. Pacific time. So you guys got time to fucking get this in. But I love Cam Scatteraboo, the fucking running back for Arizona State, right? So you can build an entry around this guy. And what I love about these entries is, so for him, they're offering 121, higher or lower, 121.5 rushing yards, higher or lower, 160.5 rushing and receiving yards, higher or lower, 23.95 fantasy points. I think that's so cool that you could factor that into these fucking plays, dude.
Yeah.
Because in this one, it's like higher or lower, 34.5 receiving yards. So for him, I like doing a two-legger with over the 160.5 rushing and receiving yards, because their quarterback is kind of dinged up. They're going to be really leaning on him, and they're going to be trying to get the ball to the quarterback can't hit. So I think he's going to be getting in on the passing game. I would even throw the receiving yards in there if you want to get clever with it, but just do that.
Half point per reception too.
It's half point PPR. Yeah. So you get half a point for each catch that these guys get, in addition to like a point for every 10 yards receiving and rushing, and then 6 points for every touchdown. So, dude, if he's their offense, dude, 23.95 fantasy points is very within reason for him, even if they're getting fucking blown out, dude. Yeah. And so I love his 160.5 and 23.5 on the higher. And what's cool about this is we have multipliers. So right now I can use a 3x multiplier, there's like, so dude, like building this up, it's a lot of fun. So then for this same game, I'm going to go on to the other side. I'm going to do Rocco Becht, quarterback for Iowa State. He's the son of Anthony Becht, former NFL tight end. And I think that Arizona State, their pass rush is pretty good. So he's going to have to fucking use his legs to get by him. Let's go with over 19.5 rushing yards. I think he runs it enough. But you got to remember, in college football, sacks count against rushing yards.
Yeah.
So like that's a factor here. So we don't want him to take too many sacks, but I think he's got enough athleticism to get around the defense and get that over 19.5. And then I'm also going to just do the over 20.5 fantasy points. I have Iowa State winning this game. I love Arizona State. I think Gillingham's a great coach. They've been a fun story, but yeah, I do like Iowa State. I think that they have the better quarterback in a dome game. Hey, once again, two outdoor teams that play in tough conditions are now playing a fucking dome game in a championship. But yeah, I think that favors the better quarterback. So I think so. Arizona State's going to have to try and lean on the running game to establish anything. And Iowa State knows they're going to be able to throw the ball. So let's just go over that. And yeah.
So I'll add one in here for you. Also, in underdog, you can't load up on one team. You have to have at least two teams in there to make it work.
Yeah.
But it could be in the same game like that is. But I like Dylan Gabriel over 236.5 passing yards.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
feel like that's too low for him. And if it's one thing Penn State should be able to do is score some points and force Oregon to really keep their offense going. It's not going to be a defensive game. I could tell you that.
David Hernandez in the chat saying underdog pick Chicago Bears, college pick Oregon Ducks. You got to pick players in underdog, David.
Yeah, he's still new to it. He didn't sign up when we all did. He's late to the program.
Well, I hope he used promo code LSH and got his fucking bonus and whatnot.
He could still do that. He could still get his bonus.
Yeah. So, also, here's what I think is interesting because I think Georgia could turn this into a boat race against Texas again. I think that's on the range of outcomes. I also think it can be a shootout. But either way, I think both quarterbacks are going to be throwing the ball a lot. So let's just do it, dude. Let's go over 241.5 passing yards for Quinn Ewers to over 242.5 passing yards for fucking Carson Beck. Because even if Georgia boat races them, they're going to be throwing it to keep up. And if Texas is in the game at all, it's probably going to be a shootout.
Yeah. I like it.
And I mean,
like it.
And I mean, if you really want to get diabolical, you go over 7.5 rushing yards for Carson Beck.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for quarterback rushing yard props. And you know how I always get fucked on those?
The knee at the end of the game.
The knee at the end of the game. Yep. That's exactly how I get fucked on those, dude. Every time, man. Like,
so that's kind of a perfect teaser here into our NFL picks in that I've been following this.
Oh, but before we go to there, do you like anything in the Clemson SMU game?
Clemson.
Because I do like, dude, because I'm just looking at that one. Cade Klubnik, the quarterback for LSU, Clemson. This is an interesting one because they got 63.5 first quarter passing yards for him on there. I'm not saying take this higher or lower, but first quarter passing yards, that's a very intriguing thing that they're throwing out here on this.
It's very specific, but you have to think like early in the game, they want to set the tone and they're just going to come out. But here's the thing is if they don't get the ball first,
you got
to win the coin toss to hit that over.
Or if they win the coin toss and they defer to the second half.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have to get the ball because if you don't get the ball, you're basically going to get one drive. You might not even be 3 yards away from the end zone.
If SMU starts off on like a 13 play, gets the ball first, starts off on a 13 play. Honestly, I think you got to go fucking lower on that, just on principle that it's literally kind of a coin flip that a coin flip can decide it for you out the gate.
Like literally you're betting the coin toss. You know what, too? I'm pretty sure you can get these in after the coin toss before the kickoff.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, you're right. Guys, we have just fucking broken the system. Right? If you're listening to this, if you're watching this, you are part of an exclusive club of people who have figured out how the fucking world works. That's a fantastic call. I'm gonna get some email about that, dude, for sure now.
You're gonna have
your promo people all hit on something that happened right after a coin toss.
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of fucking tomfoolery are you up to over there, you jackass?
Those scripted drives are always to 13 plays, like you're saying. And if SMU gets it, they're gonna eat clock.
Yeah, no, it's like they're gonna want to try and keep them off the field, dude.
And so you're talking about Klubnik's gonna have one drive. He might only have 75 yards to go, and he'd have to get a touchdown in like 80% of those.
Well, dude, you know what's wild if you do it? If you're really diabolical, because you think if that's how that opens, but then he turns it on in the second quarter. What if you do the under 63.5 first quarter, but lower? I got to be careful with my language on these. Lower on the 63.5 first quarter, but higher on the 125.5 first half.
Yeah. I would almost rather just go higher for the game because second halves tend to open things up. So I would go lower first half, higher 257.5 for the game.
Okay, hold on. Oh, dude. So just my Rocco Beck Cam Scadaboo and then throwing the Klubnik. Hold on. I'm an idiot.
Verify.
I'm gonna try and get a payout for let's figure out what this is gonna pay. Okay, this pays 3x, dude. So the Cam Scadaboo fantasy points, Rocco Beck 19.5 rushing yards, and Klubnik 63.5 passing yards. For lower first, dude. That's 3, dude. That's a +3. You're basically getting a +300 payout on that.
And if you're feeling hesitante, just wait for that coin toss before you
wait for the coin toss,
and then click go or no go.
And yeah, dude, that you're just waiting on that. Well, no, because you got to get it in. Well,
yeah, because the other ones are the early.
The other ones are the morning game.
You have to do that with Dylan Gabriel.
But that game has to start also, like either at the same time or after.
Yeah, they're supposed to start at 5. You never know. You get a minute though, because they go to commercial break after the coin toss.
And hey, dude,
it's not that bang bang.
And if you do the flex version on this, the 3 correct pay 3x, and then the 2 correct will pay up to 1x.
Yeah.
So what are we even doing here, people? So get over to Underdog Fantasy, use promo code LSH, and make sure you get over to mybookie.ag. Use the same promo code LSH. What's funny is I signed up for the Amazon affiliate link, and they gave me a promo code for that. Guess what it was? LSH 04-20. That's right. I got a 420 link, dude. Woo! Hold on, let me get a sound effect for that. I don't really have a weed sound effect. I probably should. The best I can do is the wet fart, I think, on that one. And no one wants to hear that again at this point in the show. Let's be honest. But we can do let's cash some tickets, guys, all weekend. And thank you guys for checking out the show. You can follow us on x.com and Instagram at LuckStopsPod. It's right here on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. If you are one of our longtime listeners on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, anywhere else you listen to podcasts, get over to our YouTube channel and subscribe. What are you missing out on? You're missing out on all kinds of fun. You get to see me and Bret. You can see Bret's costume changes, for crying out loud. He had 2 different hats on throughout the course of this. 3. That's right. I thought it was 3 at first, and I'm like, wait. I was pretty high when we started, so I couldn't quite,
In case you had 3.5 is the over under.
Yeah. I guess he's got the leather.
The toothless picker's back.
We really should just have you record little videos as an old timey prospector each week. Just even on the weeks you're not in here, because
mining for gold.
Yeah, not many people. I kind of fucked up because I have my safari hat, and I could have put my safari, but see, I can't wear my head. The safari hat doesn't accommodate my headphones. I was on the Steph Smalls show a couple months ago, and I tried to do my gambling safari bit on there, and it really just went south real quick when I tried it. So I don't want to do it. I'll do that on other people's shows, but I'm not going to ruin my shit like that.
Digging for nuggets.
Yeah, digging for nuggets. There we go. Dude, it's like that. Honestly, that seems like a Huell Hauser type show, like a California Gold spinoff of we're just digging for nuggets on this one,
just out here digging for nuggets.
And then also, guys, thank you so much for checking us out. But yeah, make sure if you're listening, follow us on smash subscribe.
Smash it.
The glory hole.
At the glory hole. At the glory hole. I have to. I'm under contract to have to play that glory hole clip in every episode, no matter what. And I almost didn't get it in here. So that. But yeah. And then be on the lookout for LuckStops here podcast.com coming out soon here within the next few weeks. I'm getting the work done on that. I'm building it myself, so don't fucking judge me on it too much, guys. It's a lot of work, and I'm not exactly a professional web designer. So I'm putting the work in. I do it for your pleasure and benefit. And also, if you're listening on Spotify and Apple and whatnot, I've noticed that they put all these fucking ads in there. Like, I get it. I do my ad reads, and these will still be on here. But like, if you don't want ads at all, you just want to listen to the show ad free, head over to our Patreon, where I created a $1 tier where the show's episodes will just be up for ad free, and you don't have to fucking. I don't know. Because what, dude, you know what was really pissing me off, man? I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the election's over, but during the election, try to listen to your favorite podcast, and every other fucking commercial is just, they're gonna take a tuck under and fucking slap your kids fucking with a tuck under ball bag under a butthole at a fucking bus stop somewhere. It's like the weirdest fucking the weirdest commercials ever were running during this election cycle. I mean, I'm here for them. I helped write a few of them, but like, I don't want to hear them, you know, because I just want to hear about.
I thought the generals were due.
And, you know, just get around, cash some of these tickets so I can celebrate with the prize horn. And yeah, so follow us. Did I forget anything, dude? The social media links, the website, this channel.
Give him a dollar.
Oh yeah, and you know, if you don't want to give us $1, if you're too cheap to give us $1, then go on to Spotify or, you know, Apple, and leave a 5-star review and a little give us a little fucking comment. You know, you don't even have to say anything nice, man, but leave the 5-star review. That, you're a dick if you leave anything less than that. But like, you can just say, hey, fuck these guys, and I'll read that shit on the show. I don't have a problem with that. It's fun, you know. I'm here. I've been reading all the comments in the YouTube chat tonight. Like, I'm not a complete asshole. I'm more of a half. I am a complete asshole.
Let's not lie to the audience.
Yeah, let's give you a standing ovation for that one. But I have been Scott Bowser. This is my brother, Bret. And this has been the Lux Hops Here podcast, everybody. Thank you so much for checking us out. Bye-bye. Oh, and really got to get better with the music cues. Bye-bye, everybody.